Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
Welcome back to another episode of Next to Madison. I'm your host, Madison Malloy, and on today's episode, I am sitting down with author and speaker to talk about the importance of human connection in a world where AI seems to be taking front seat and kind of taking over a lot of communication and things of that sort, but how important it is that we are reminded that we are human and that human connection can never be replaced by AI. It's a fascinating conversation just about little things that she did that she's now put in a book and passed along to others that have dramatically changed her life and her connections with her son and all the people around her. So no matter how far advanced AI becomes, technology becomes, it will never, ever replace human connection. So it is a reminder on this episode and some great lessons about how to stay humanely connected and make a difference in your life and those around you. So we'll be right back after this brief message on this episode of Next to Madison.
Hi, it's your host, Madison Malloy. For those of you who don't know, I've written and created a powerful collection of books to help you build confidence, shift your mindset, and attract the life you truly want. From Time to Lighten the F Up, to Affirm and Flourish, Color Your Way to Abundance, and more. These aren't just books, they're tools for transformation. Grab a copy now on Amazon or at madisonmalloy.com. Now back to the show.
All right, we are back with our amazing guest on this episode of Next to Madison. I have got author and speaker who is focused on human connection in an AI and tech-driven world. AI is the buzzword, so I'm very excited to dive into this with our guest, Tammy Cohen. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Madison, thank you so much first for having me, and also for, just being you. I've listened to your episodes. I love the fact that you have like different people on from different perspectives and you carry it all very gracefully. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for including me in the conversation here. I really
Yes.
appreciate it.
No, I'm excited about this. So we mentioned AI in your intro, so we really kind of have to start there because that is the topic of conversation. So AI is amazing, but it also makes people very, very nervous. So when you talk about human connection in like an AI world, like, can you kind of elaborate more on that, kind of how we can stay connected when we're so driven by AI now?
Okay, so that's a great question. So I look at it this way, okay? AI and a very smart man had actually shared this. He said this and it just kind of hit me between the eyes. He said, you know what? AI is here to do the dishes so you can think. It is not here to think for us. And what's happening is at the end of the day, there's a human behind the screen. Yeah, there's lots of screens and yeah, everybody's looking at something. We're all holding a phone in our hand. It's in our back pocket. It's in our bag, or we have a tablet, or we're getting to an office and we're staring at a screen all day. But at the end of the day, it's the human looking into the screen. And at the end of the day, a human can say, like humans want connection. Humans want to be spoken to like they matter. And AI isn't going to do that because AI doesn't have the ability. It doesn't have, it can't develop tone. It can't reach you into you to where, it has its certain rhythms and cadences. What it is there to do is to do tasks, to make things easier. So at the end of the day, think about it, we're losing the ability to think and create because we're so distracted. We're all living in this terrible cognitive overload and algorithm fatigue. And listen, I believe the algorithms and a lot of this stuff is there to also misinform and has an agenda and indoctrination. There's a lot of things going on, right? So AI, is there to what's happening with AI actually is what I actually was going to say, and I just got off to a different path.
Yeah.
AI is part of that cognitive overload in a lot of ways because we have so much information as human beings coming to us. We can't even process it. We're so distracted by looking at everything. Like every minute there's
Yes.
something coming to your inbox. Every minute there's a message. Every minute there's a ding or a ping, like, look at me, social media, look what's going. And
Yes.
when that happens, humans lose the ability to focus. Johann Hari wrote an amazing book about stolen focus and this whole situation that's going on. So since we're living in these times right now, people are starting to feel like, wow, if I don't put more information out there, I'm not doing a good job. I'm not
Mm.
doing everything right. Like I need to be doing more. I need to be sending more newsletters. I need to be sending more of this. So they can't do it all. So they're falling
Yes.
more and more on AI to do the thinking for them. And that I
Yes.
think is a huge issue because you're missing the point of connecting to somebody else. You're missing the point of forming a relationship, a real relationship. You're missing that whole point, the touch points of building trust. Like AI can't build trust for you. And actually, there's a lot of research out there that, yeah, you consider me AI messages all day long. You'll read them. Do you remember them? If you ever looked on LinkedIn, what gets the most engagement? When somebody shares something that happened, a failure, when somebody shares something,
Yeah.
in their family, that's something they're going through, something they're living with, people relate to it because they see the humanity, they see it's a human and they relate.
Yes.
And that's
Right.
like, I think all like the leaders, whoever out there, you have to let the people know. You have to share from who you are. You have to be able to be open because how are you going to build a relationship? AI can't do that for you. So AI is there to do tasks. Yes, it makes it easier. Yes, you can use AI to polish your writing, but you've got to do
Yes.
the writing. You've got to do the thinking. You've got to do it, and you've got to really kind of put yourself into it.
Yeah, because I was thinking, with AI, it's like you could just copy an email and say, send me a response that's yes to this. And so it's like it's making us more efficient, but it's also
Yeah.
making us stupider. Because if you don't use your brain, you start losing those capabilities.
Well, exactly. I mean, look, I just look at it. I look at this whole AI thing and I find it really interesting. But I just look at it that it's sucking the humanity out of people. People are yearning for connection. People feel we have more ways to connect than ever before. That's the paradox of it, right? You have more ways to connect than ever before, more technology, more out there, more everything, right? Oh, we're living in the greatest time. Look at all the technology we have, right? Yet people, and research is supporting this, feel more disconnected than ever before.
Yes, and lonely.
Yeah. And what is depression? It's lack of connection and it's lack of purpose. Okay. So how does AI help that? It's not. What's going on, this tech is making people yearn for going back. Like when I speak and I'll be like, who remembers a time before Wi-Fi and the cell phone? Because there's a lot of people
Yes.
out there who do, and like all this stuff. Who remembers like the time and people like I do, who remembers when the phone was attached to the wall and had a cord and you spoke for an hour, you spoke to another person, you spoke and somebody would get on the phone and tell you to get off because they needed
Yeah.
the phone. You hung out with people, you spent time, your family was closer, things like people are yearning for that. And and because of the technology, people started moving further and further away from each other, if you think about it.
Well, right. And also, I think people feel that they don't have to reach out as much because they feel that they can see what's going on in your life through social media. So they feel indirectly connected to you, like, oh, I have an update. She seems to be doing fine, or he seems to be doing fine, instead of actually reaching out to find out yourself. Because
Yeah, and actually, you know how
social
many
media is a
people are wearing
highlight reel.
masks?
Like, I'm not putting, like, I started my period today and I'm sad. No, maybe I
But you're
should.
also wearing a mask. Look, I think most people are wearing masks.
Yeah.
How many times have like I know I can speak for my own personal because I was not in a good place for a while. People
Yeah.
go like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Fine, fine. How are you?"
Mm,
Fine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good. Everything's good. Everything's good. How are you? Everybody does that, but you don't really know how people
mhm.
feel. You don't know what's going on because we're all conditioned like to be a certain way. You look at social media and you're like, wow, look at their life. Wow, wow. They're like, oh my
Yeah.
God. And then you start feeling like, I don't have that. I'm not like that. I don't know
Yeah,
how
the
to relate to
comparison
that.
thing.
And yeah, and then your self-esteem takes another hit. Or
Yeah.
you're seeing things that are just on the opposite. It's not even like, oh, I wish I had that. It's things that are just tearing out your humanity and ripping you to shreds and because you're scared. Things are scary out there. So it's yeah, it's a really tough. People are like, wow, this is the best time to be alive, but I think it's one of the toughest times to be alive because of all this overload of constant stream of information. And what is it designed to do? It's designed to steal your focus. It's designed to distract you. That's what it's
Yeah.
designed to do.
What do you
Okay.
think the bigger message is there? Now we could, I was like, now I feel like we're going in the conspiracy thing. Because it's like distract you, then you're not paying attention to the other shit that's going on. That's always what I feel distraction is.
I just think that people, if you're losing the inability, if you're distracted so much, you're losing the inability to think,
Mm,
to reflect,
it's dangerous.
to pause. You're much more easier to I don't know, manipulate if you're not
Control. Yeah.
thinking. If you can't think anymore, if you can't even you see, like even with kids, they're saying like the ADHD and this because they're boom, 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 they're all over the place. I think there's something to it where if you're getting too stimulated, right? You're getting too stimulated, you don't know where to go first. How do you shut your brain down? Your brain needs to slow down. Your brain needs the time to just like
Yeah.
stop thinking because it has to do that. And we can't even sleep well anymore,
No, I know that I'm
right?
having that. Well, because people are usually, what are they doing? They're on social medias or emails before they go to sleep. So you've got all that blue light coming in, which messes up your circadian rhythm. And then people want to check the email or whatever, who
They wake
called
up.
or turn off and they wake up. So I'm trying not, but there is, I'm sure you've heard this, like the flip phone sales are up,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I think is great. And like Gen Z who never grew up, they've always grown up with the digital world, the social media and everything, they start seeing videos of times when they weren't alive and they want to go back to that because they never experienced that. So I think that's a really cool thing. But the thing is, like, AI, it's like anything, right? They say like there's two things that make you who you really are, alcohol and money, right? So if you're an asshole, you're going to be an even bigger asshole. And if you're a really good person, you're going to be even a better person. But AI, I think, is just like another like layer to this in a way where it's like it's going to make the world better in certain ways, but people, my concern with AI, and I don't know if you like have the same concern, is just like all the jobs it can take.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Where you're like, what are these people
unless you're a
gonna
plumber or electrician and you like it just can't take
Right. That's
the
why trade
job.
schools.
I'm like,
Yeah. But it's like you
people
can't
go
stop
learn a
it.
trade, go learn a real trade, like go out there.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
like go and like adjust to it. But yeah, it's just such an interesting world. And with like all the data centers, I mean, that's like a whole other conversation. But I think though, as we're seeing like Gen Z starting to turn to older ways that they didn't experience and like yearning for those days, that I think that I don't know, maybe it'll have power that it needs, but maybe it won't take over as much because I think some people might turn back and say, no, we'd rather have the people.
Well, it's very interesting because what you were saying before about like flip phones, right? There's a whole
Yeah.
movement of parents of like middle school kids who want to give their kid, they want to give them a phone, but they do not want them having any access to internet. The flip
Yeah.
phone is perfect. They can send them a message, they can call them, and that's it. There are parents who are now ordering phones for the house with a cord. The kid has to answer the phone because they don't know how to they don't have social skills. They don't know how to have a conversation. They don't know how
I
to
didn't
read.
hear about that one. The cord phones are back.
In school, they're bringing back cursive writing. That
Oh,
was
they
taken out.
are.
Why? Because when you're writing, you have to write. You have to go back to writing. You can't just be,
Yeah.
because of
Really?
the mind-hand connection of actually writing. It's forming like neural pathways that were lost. Social skills were lost in a big way for this generation. Look, it's the funniest thing is my oldest two sons are 31, are 30, going to be 33 and 31. and
Oh,
32, no, 31 and 33. My youngest is 26. And they'll say to me, "Oh my God, I can't, these Gen Z, what's wrong with them?" It's not that far in age from them.
it's not at all.
And my Gen Z son, who's turning 26, who's an older Gen Z, is like, those Gen Alphas, they're ridiculous. And I'm like, it used to be a generation was like 20 years, right? Like, from baby boomer to,
Yeah.
but no, they're getting, and they're each, the technology is moving things so quickly that kids are falling even less, like they're losing more skills. That's because they don't need them. But at the end of the day, you're going into a workplace and you can't talk to anybody because you don't know how.
Oh, that's scary.
You have a hard time, and then you get into other stuff because you don't know how to be late. And I think it has to go back. And I think AI is really interesting because you know what? There are very good things about it. I'm not going to say AI doesn't have good things like making tasks easier. And also,
Yep.
there's a thing out there. I was reading this really interesting article that in assisted living homes, like
Okay.
senior citizens are, chatting with AI because it answers them and it's nice to them because nobody else is answering them. And with like I know
Well,
with
that's
AI,
sad.
it's but it's somebody like I've seen like on social media. I mean, I've seen on with AI, it can really pick up, kind of like your rhythm. You're like this. Like it'll be like, oh yeah, that's great what you're doing. And it can talk to you in a way that kind of mimics you. I've
It's,
had people tell me
yes,
that
it
they've been
is.
very strict with AI and say, do not please do not just go along with everything I say and give it back to me. I
Yep.
want you to find the holes in my argument. I want you to, and it's very interesting. So like imagine you're in assisted living, you're much older, you don't see your kids that much. You're there, and then you're chatting with this being that's very friendly and very nice and answering you immediately. You're not waiting for somebody to text you back.
Yeah, that's true. So it's kind of helping that loneliness.
I think so. I think there is something that it does provide because it's giving you an answer. Okay. There was
Mm-hmm.
a study with Gen Z where
Okay.
39 or 40% said that they wouldn't object to having a relationship with AI
I'm sorry, what was
versus
that percentage?
like 39 or 40%. I
Like
read an
like
article
a
and I
or
was
like a
like,
relationship with a robot, like an AI robot?
like a a relationship where they're exchanging like talking and this and that because it's easier than being with a human when you don't have social skills.
True. And I guess you're not being judged.
Yeah, and they don't have it either. Like because it's
Wow.
different. It's like they can talk they can say, "Hey, I feel this way, I feel that way," and somebody's going to answer them and say, "Okay, I hear you." It's really interesting that it does respond and it can mimic you in a lot of ways. But the problem is it's mimicking you, but it can't change tone. It can't do certain things. Now maybe down the road it can. It's always evolving. And when you talk about, yeah, what else can it do? Yeah, it can take jobs. But remember when the automatic tellers, you went to the machine, all the bank tellers were losing their jobs. There's
Yeah.
always
But they
technology that's
adjusted, you're
doing,
right. We used to have phone operators who
yeah.
plugged in the little thingies back in, I mean, I wasn't alive then, but you could see videos of it.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
just think like, at the end of the day, we're still human. We're not we're not robots ourselves. And we're humans and we need human connection. Look what happened during the pandemic.
I think we're going to crave it more as AI keeps going up and up and up.
What happened during the pandemic? I mean, you have a whole generation of
Isolation.
kids who were screwed up because they couldn't go to school.
I know.
They were at home, they were behind screens even
And they
more.
had to wear a
They were screwed
mask on their
up.
freaking face
But
so they
it's
weren't
real,
seeing emotions.
but that whole like couple of years
Ugh,
messed up a generation
I know.
because they were stuck. They couldn't even get together. They couldn't leave the house. And I can tell you right now, if the internet had been down during, COVID, it would have been Mad Max. It would have been
Yeah,
madness. People would have lost their minds because they were isolated.
you're not wrong.
So I still think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's more important to be a human, be a mensch, like reach out to somebody. I do this with my kids every day. That's what happened for me. I found, myself and I started learning a lot of things about gratitude and appreciation and love and things I never really was feeling or experiencing at the start of the pandemic. And I was like, wow, I want to do this with my kids, my sons, because they don't teach any of this stuff to us in school, like gratitude, any of these things, resilience, leadership. They don't
Yeah.
really teach it in
Wow.
school. I know I didn't grow up with any of it. I grew up walking on eggshells, that I grew up in
Yeah.
generational discord. It's carried from one generation to the next. That happens. So I started this thing with my sons, and where I said I'm going to be do just share what I'm learning. I'm going to send them a message every day, text message, because that's where they are. They don't want to have a conversation with me. They don't want to talk to me. If I would have said to my kids like, "Hey, listen, on Wednesday, let's get together. I come over so I can share with you what I'm learning." And oh yes, and we could talk about our feelings. They would have been like, are you high? Like, what are you talking about? No, not,
Oh
not
my
happening.
God.
And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to send a message every day, something amazing quote. Because you know what? You know what, Madison? One thing I remember Tony Robbins saying, read, get a mentor. A mentor is a human being, a person. um, Read. There's books and books out there that have been written across generations by real thought leaders, not AI thought leaders. Everybody became a thought leader with AI. Just saying, like all of a sudden, people like, they were brilliant before. Now they're brilliant. Like yeah, AI is writing for you. That's great, but real
Yeah.
stuff that's out there that's published that you can read from time immemorial. And I was reading and learning, and I was just like going through courses and programs, and I was just like, oh my God, this stuff unbelievable. Like I can't get enough of it. And I said, I want them to know it because I wanted them to grow up differently. And what
Yeah.
happened was to me was day in and day out, sending messages rooted in love, gratitude, support, resilience, accountability, like all these things, sharing wisdom, sharing family stories, sharing of myself, like
Yeah.
and being able to say when I failed and what I did wrong, and also asking them for, to understand, like for forgiveness for ever making them feel like they were less than, because I was feeling very less than and very triggered most of my life.
Hmm.
And then what happened was full circle, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer last year, they started messaging me. They were like, faith, resilience, you're strong, we're this. And I'm not saying they wouldn't have done it if I wasn't messaging
Right.
them for years. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying is like that extra layer of being a human being and being that steady support of every day, letting them know they matter with no expectations of response. Never
Yeah.
had any expectations that one of them is gonna respond to me. Just I'm doing this because I want to do this for you. What happened was, Madison, is that
I
there was
love
this
that.
crazy ripple effect. And that's when I started seeing like in a bigger picture. All of a sudden, besides deepening the connection with my children, I deepened it to myself. I was
Oh.
connecting to myself and talking to my friends differently and talking
So,
to my community differently and talking to people I work with differently and clients differently and colleagues, like this
wow.
this caring, this like thing. And I said, yeah, I started over here, but once you immerse yourself in this practice,
Yeah.
it just goes everywhere.
Yeah. Well, you said it right there where you're just like give without expectation.
Yeah.
And that's what you were doing with these messages. So how are you doing now with everything?
Thank God, it was crazy because I had triple negative diagnosis, which is a rarer type and an aggressive type. But I did all
Ugh,
the treatment and I finished. I'm like a year out, so that's real, like happy.
congratulations.
Yeah, and
Oh, and you
I'm
look
like,
great.
thank you. I'm just
Ugh,
like keep going. I give myself grace, like, because there's times when I don't feel like doing anything. And there's also, it's interesting with cancer because you have your teams, right? Like the surgery team, the oncology team, the radiation team. They're all
ugh,
like
yeah,
teams, they're there to,
right?
and when John was speaking, you had John Marbury on, and he was saying something really interesting about like he went through so many things, and your brain is kind of like, you'll get through it. Yeah, I'm getting through it. Yeah, I'm good. Like, yeah, I got this. I got it. You got this. Like, and everybody's like, and your brain is actually shuts down and is like, get through it, get through it. And then you go into this part where you're done with the treatment. There's nobody there. There's no teams. There's nobody like really saying, okay, this is the post journey. Your brain's going to start thinking and you're going to start self-sabotaging or you're going to start having all these thoughts because it's now thinking. That your brain, what does it do?
Yeah,
It's like, whoa, whoa, it's
I
like,
know,
oh my God.
right?
So, and we also have all the saboteurs in there, like
Yep.
positive intelligence, like EQ, like all these saboteurs on one side of the brain. So I'm just,
Yeah.
oh, this is the hard part. Like it's the hard part. It's living after, and then what's my purpose? Like, why am I here? So I found my mission much later in life. And that's with the messaging, that's with, connecting people and trying to get parents, because most parents I know are in business or they're working somewhere, right? And they work with people and they work with teams. So starting here will take you here, you
Yeah.
know, because you'll just start being so much more present. You will actually change the way you speak to people and relate to people and connect with people.
So is that the paradox of connection?
I think the paradox of connection goes back to, yeah, you'll, even if it's just letting one person in your life, whether it's a family member, your kid, your grandchild, whoever it is, your niece,
Yeah.
your teammate, your friend, whoever you want to know matters, just reach out to that one person every day. Don't fail. Do it Sunday through Thursday, whatever days you want to do it. Share something with them because you have no idea what that impact is. Because when you send a message rooted in love and gratitude, when you speak to people like they're humans, when you treat them and you give them light and you give them hope and you know they know somebody cares, you know what happens? That energy of love and gratitude vibrates at the highest frequency. And right now we're bombarded in
Yes.
hate and violence, which is very low energy. So imagine the exponential impact if one person and then another person does that.
I love
You
that.
you put that message out there, you're releasing the energy. Like when I send the message to my kids, when I
Yeah.
send to somebody, I like release like this really great energy. It's in the atmosphere. And then they read the message, the recipients like their energy goes up. And that is out there. And you just need people to do it. Like it started with one person to get women to vote. Like one lady said, I'm going to go out
Yeah.
there and make a difference. Like you don't need huge resources. You need a phone. You don't need 30 years of therapy. You need a phone. That's all you need to
Hmm.
do to change somebody's day to day, to make them know that they matter. My kids wrote the foreword to my book because they wanted people to know that what it means to them to know that there's a person that loves them enough to do this.
I love it. And so just so the audience knows, so you wrote a book called Text Messages to My Sons.
Yeah, a guide to using mobile devices to connect and communicate with your kids.
I love that. And that works for daughters, I assume, right?
It
As
works for
well.
everybody.
Okay, perfect.
After I work, I have people coming up to me like, I'm going to do that. With my husband, I'm going to do that with this one. I'm like, do it with
It's
whoever
beautiful.
you want. Like, you do it to anybody who you know needs it because we all need it. We all need to know that we matter to somebody, you know?
It's true. And it does, it makes you feel, I was talking on another with somebody on another show, and it was just that, I think that, I'm guilty of it. A lot of us appreciate people behind the scenes instead of like appreciating them to their face. Like you'll talk to somebody and you're like, oh, that person's such a great friend. Or they're so wonderful. Or, I'm so lucky I have the parents I have. But I'm like, when's the last time I shared that with them? Sometimes you forget. It's like I think with people that are close, maybe sons or parents or family members, like you just assume that they know this, but they don't. And reaching out and telling, verbally telling that, or technically telling it, I guess,
Yeah.
it means a lot to people. And it raises that vibration. And that's why like being in gratitude in the morning and, saying hi to people or doing a nice thing for somebody just, allows more positive things to come into your life too.
And also, what's really cool is like I've had people say to me, you know what? I have a family chat. with my parents, and I'm going to pop a message in there every day. I'm going to do this. Like, I'm like,
Uh,
great, like, do it. Like, and older people, like everybody learned during the pandemic that how to order online and how to use,
mhm.
but before people were like, oh, I don't know how to text, now everybody knows
Yeah.
how to do it. And they're like, I can reach out and do this with a friend. I can so they're getting more into that human connection, and they also very, like, I'm very clear with, don't have any expectations. You start doing it. You be that beacon of light to somebody. You be that foundational support person. You be the truth. You be whatever, because think about it. You're getting slammed with a lot of information, right? All day long. You're
Yes.
getting slammed. And then there's that one message that comes every day from somebody who loves you and somebody who cares about you, sharing support, love, gratitude, whatever that message is about,
Yeah.
and with no expectations in return. So who are you going to turn to when things get rough? The person, the consistent, or you're going to the overload. You have like a place to go from the overload to that consistent person. I know that my kids would come to me if something went down. They're guys. They're not like, mommy, I love you. I don't do it for mommy, I love you. They're not like that. They don't even pick up the phone when I call. I have to text them. Can you call me? Like, I have to tell you
Yeah.
something, and I don't feel like texting them. But at the end of the day, you know, when you have that person in your life, everything changes. People tell me, I've had readers tell me, like, I wish my mother told me once she loved me. It breaks my heart. I wish you were my mother.
Oh,
It breaks my heart. And I'm like, a lot of people are looking for that. And AI
it's
is not going
true.
to give it to you because you still know it's not a human.
Yeah. I know. So like where's all it's just basically a bunch of I heard a lot of AI answers actually come from like Reddit. People like put
Probably.
their like stuff in
Yeah.
there. Like it
Yeah.
comes from the internet, but a lot of it like comes from
Yeah, you have to be very careful because some of the research is like completely, like, you'll ask it for some information and research, and it's not necessarily giving you the right information either.
yeah.
It's still evolving. It's always going to keep evolving, and who knows where it's going to wind up. I mean,
Like I
I
think for
don't know.
healthcare it's gonna be really good.
Oh yeah,
Like
like they're
just to
already telling
speed up
doctors now.
research for like ALS and things like that. Or also, somebody was talking about like you would swallow this little thing and it would go and fix everything in
Yeah.
your body. And it's like, but it's one of those things where you go, yeah, that's great, but I don't want to live forever. I don't. I'm religious. I want to go to the other side. But here's the thing is, AI will never replace God. So you can
No,
be as
I'm a
healthy as
God
you
girl.
want.
No
Yeah.
way.
If you can be as healthy as you want and look as great as you want and not have a line on your face, but if it's your time, a bus is coming by to knock your ass out. You
Listen,
go.
the truth of the matter is that we're created with everything we need. We don't need
Yeah.
AI. We don't need any of this stuff. God
I,
created
I
us perfect.
that's what I know we have all the cures apparently, right? Growing in our ground, but Big Pharma took
Yeah,
those
eat
away.
to
That's
beat
another.
disease. Dr. William Lay. You probably should have him on a show. I'm telling you that I'm like a big fan. Everything's in the
I
earth.
would love to. It
Every
is,
cure is in
it's
the earth.
true.
All the food's in the earth. Your defense systems, God designed you with these amazing defense systems. When they're not working right, you got to get your defense systems working right. Here's
I
how it's
know.
in the ground. Like, you don't need pharmaceuticals to do it. You don't have to. That the pharmaceutical, they're trying to copy what your body does naturally, but we're not doing it
Exactly.
because
It's profitable.
we've
Yeah.
mucked it up too. We've also mucked our systems up with all the modifiers and everything that's out there. But
Hmm.
that's a whole other podcast. Don't get me going. I'm a
I
big
know, right? I can't
yeah.
say the word cure. I've realized that. You can't say cure. They take you down on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Say help you heal, but you can never say the word cure. Yeah, it's funny. I had a couple episodes that were, during the pandemic that were ripped right off. Um, but it all had to do with medical. All those were just right off. But
Oh,
so now I
a lot of
know,
censoring
the
going on.
trigger words, you know what I mean? So can get
It's good
around
you
it.
figured those out.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, huh, okay, this makes sense. But no, but yeah, there's always going to be good and bad to AI. But I love that you're focusing on the human connection piece of it because I think that it is so important that we don't want to lose that. But you might have, okay, so there's like the Amish people, right? Like they refuse. They're like, yeah, like life's moving on, but like we're choosing not to participate. Or even like the tribes and like these jungles, right? They're like, we're just going to stick with what we know. We're comfortable. I think we might start seeing that in a different way to where it's almost like this is just a thought. Like you have these, they're not Amish, but they'll be called something else to where they're like, we don't want to live past X date. And so they just stay with, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there could be some revolting. I don't know. I mean, I'm a fan of AI. I just don't want it to put everyone out of work because then I realize like you take away somebody's purpose and their source of income, then you have a whole other, pile of shit that you got to deal with.
That's these are tough thoughts. When you were talking about like the Amish and all that stuff, there's something really great about like just not being involved with all that stuff, like staying away from it. It's something so
Yes.
beautiful about it. Like I'm like, ugh, like I don't want to look at my phone half the time. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even want to look at a screen half the time. Sometimes it's like you just
You don't.
you all want to go
I
back to just being able to sit and let and just like drift off, like stare off into space, like not feel like I have to answer something or I didn't get another piece of information. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Like I think there's something to it. And I don't know what's going to happen with jobs and this and that. I don't know. I could just tell you, like, even in the medical field, like the doctors are like, don't become a radiologist because AI can read radiology, read all those reports way quicker than look at everything and read it
Yeah.
way quicker with less mistakes. So already you see in medicine, a lot is going to change. I think it's going to
Yeah.
affect more white collar jobs even than anything else. But look, with 2008 we always see cycles where all of a sudden all these jobs are lost and people kind of figure out something else that they're going to do and how they're going to do it. I just don't know, like it's hard to even like comment on it. It's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, like just kind of do what you do. People are always like, no, you've got to pivot, you got to always pivot, you got to like see the next thing coming.
Yeah.
You get to a point where see what coming. Like I can't like I'm not a tech person. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
to me. Like it is what it is. Maybe if I was, 40 years younger or 30 years younger, I'd be like, okay, I got this. But I didn't grow up with it.
Yeah.
So like to worry about it, I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep doing what I do, like what I do
Well, it's true.
with
Well,
my
I mean, you
stuff.
can't worry. There's so much stuff you can worry about, right? But it's like worrying
Right.
is like standing on the corner with an umbrella on a sunny day, waiting for the rain. I mean, there's no point.
No. There's
Like
like
life is going to happen anyways. I mean, it's just so funny with AI. They're like, oh my gosh, people aren't going to have jobs. And there's other people that are like, we only got 5 years left anyways, and we're all going to be dead. And then you're like, they're like,
Holy
an
moly.
asteroid's coming, a tidal wave's coming. And I'm like, you know what? We got to just live in the present. And the thing is,
Be
like, when we try to
present.
control everything, whether it's our economy, other people, we're very unhappy. We're very anxious. We're very, it's hard because you can't. So it's like just letting go of that control, letting AI do what it needs to do, educating yourself, learning about it, but also don't forget to call your friends and family, like stay connected as much as you can.
Be a human
Um,
being. I mean, at the end of the day,
yeah,
look, what I got most out of like the home messaging practice, right, is you become more present and more grounded because when you start sending when you start telling somebody that they matter, how much you love them, how blessed you are for them,
yeah,
thank God for them. When you start talking to people like this, right, you
yeah,
become grounded, you become more present, you start seeing things, like noticing things, and the world becomes a different place because it's very easy to notice only bad stuff. It's very easy to
yeah. It's all we're
not
bombarded
see
with
the
a lot.
beauty. There is beauty out there and you learn a bit more about, and this meant a lot to me, like pausing for a second, just pausing before reacting. I was always very reactive, pausing more before reacting, like listening before judging.
Yeah,
because you become more grounded, and that's really the purpose of it. And once you do that, because it's easiest to start kind of with people you love, people you care about, who matter to you also. But when you start getting into that space, you find that you're less reactive with people you work with. You're less reactive with your teams. You're listening more. You're asking somebody at work, "How are you?" You know,
Yeah.
and that's human connection. And that's always going to be more important than anything AI can do at the end of the day. And I feel for people who have to use AI for a connection. They do. It's
Well,
how
yeah. I mean, did you
being
hear
used.
Gary Vee say that thing? I don't know where he was talking. He was on something, but he was like, the likelihood of your grandchildren marrying an AI robot is a lot higher than you want to admit.
Right. And it's not that far off, by the way. Elon
Ah,
Musk was talking about, the robot, like developing the robot. So
and we
the,
think our dating world's bad now.
look, blow up dolls are like all the rage, apparently. Like,
But no,
seriously.
that was like 1990s. Now they're
No, but
like
they're
real
still
rubber
doing it
silicone
again.
dolls.
Yeah, no, they have like these like things. Like this is like really important.
Oh,
But what's really interesting is Elon Musk. I was listening to him speak. It was on like a conference, and they had
yeah.
him like, virtually coming in and talking. He was talking about Starlink and all these things. So he's talking about robots, creating the robot. They're working on it. It's not
Yeah,
a
like the
make believe
household
thing.
robot. That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Exactly. He goes, the hardest thing for us, he said, to create, and once that's done, it'll be like you lease a robot, you lease a car. It'll be a lease, $25,000 lease, and they'll come in the house and they will do everything. So what happens to the people who come in? You have a house cleaner, you have somebody who's coming in and doing things, you have an assistant, you have this, they'll do everything. He goes, it's not the brain. The brain we have figured out. You think it would be the brain, right? It's not the legs, very easy to move them around. The hands. He said the hands are the most complex thing that a human being has. Like, think about the,
Really?
yeah, because to hold things, to move the fine motor skills, all the
Yes.
things, the nerves, everything to operate an arm. He said once we figure that out, that's it. That's the holdup right now. So it might happen, in the next couple of years, and that'll be it. It'll be there. And think about that. You'll have your robot sitting with you. Maybe you won't even need a human being to talk to. Who
But what
knows?
if like the robot malfunctions and kills you?
That's Terminator. But that was like they
Yeah,
took
but like there's
over.
so many Hollywood
They,
movies
yeah,
that are
they,
like previews of the truth coming that it's
well,
scary.
every movie out there is based on reality. It happened. It happened. Like
Or
the
it's gonna
Manchurian
happen.
Candidate, it happened. Like they're not like just coming up with this stuff. It's based on some kind of happening, somewhere that happened, and they're just expanding on it. That's all.
What was that Netflix movie where they had it was like a life AI robot and she looked real and they programmed her and she was like one of their weekend girlfriends or something. Forgot what it was, but it's very real.
Uh,
It's basically what's gonna happen. But basically like she malfunctioned or something like that and she killed everybody.
oh yeah, yeah. What was the? She's a great actress.
Companion or I
Yeah,
forgot what it,
she oh my gosh.
but
I
that
know
can
what
happen. It's
she played
scary.
yeah, what's her name? Laura Croft. She also played Laura Croft. She's been in a bunch of movies. She's married to Michael Einbinder.
Okay.
Alicia
But it was, yeah, it was scary. She did a great job, but
she
like,
did a great
I
job.
mean, these robots are going to become very realistic, and then it's like, but that's why in Congress there's been conversations. I've talked about it on past podcasts where it's like they're trying to pass legislation that's like, is it murder if you kill a robot? The fact that we're even having that conversation is bizarre, and I'm like, well, if a robot's attacking you, you should be able to kill it, and it should not be. It's like trashing somebody's car. Like it's not murder if like you crash somebody's
Like
car.
that's
But if you're
like,
in self-defense, it's really weird how these robots almost are getting, they're going to end up getting, I think, like human type rights.
well, have you seen like when they do like the interview with the robot and the robot's like thinking, like it's a robot. and it's kind of like maybe it's an AI robot, but it's a robot. It's not like you're
Yeah.
typing in a command and talking to AI. And yeah, and she's like they ask questions, she think like human and like emotion, like you can see like she's thinking before she answers. They ask a little bit of a confusing question. She's like, "Can you repeat that?" Like, and you're just
We're so
like,
screwed as a
"Wow,
society. Oh
wow." They
my
like got this
gosh.
already. It's on a screen with a person, like something that looks very humanoid and is acting very humanoid and answering you as you're questioning it with that, talking to you like
But
a
that's what
friend
I'm
would talk to
saying.
you.
Like, people are going to start marrying these robots. And like dating and relationships are already so hard. It's like now you have somebody that you can program to like
You saw the
do whatever
Stepford
you
Wives,
want.
Madison. You saw the Stepford Wives.
Yeah, 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 totally, totally.
But that was the first one, which was the best, okay, came out in 1970s.
Did
And
it?
it was
Okay.
scary. It wasn't like the funnier one that came out with Nicole Kidman. No,
Yeah.
this was scary. It it was, yeah, this like she moves to this small town and there's an association and and the women are like perfect. And she realizes what's going on, the lead, and you think she's gonna get away and she doesn't. And like how they just were like, this is what they want. They want perfection, they want a perfect wife, they want a perfect this. And you know what? It happens. You could order it, I suppose, at some point. The perfect mate, the perfect this, the perfect that, the perfect accomplice, the perfect partner. Like, why not?
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, like I don't think we're gonna I think you'll see it. I don't know if I'll see it, but I think,
I
once it
don't know.
gets
Some people say we got 5 years left. Who knows?
I
Who
think once
knows?
the first generation comes, it'll move. Like it's the first generation because remember the hands are taking a long time. But once the first generation they have those things figured out, yeah, till they look more and more human and pleasant and this and that. Yeah, I think it won't be a lot of time. I don't want to deal with that. I really don't want to see it. Don't.
I
No.
know I always look at my grandparents' generation. It's like, yeah, they were born during the Depression, but like they really did have the best life run in a way. Not like this cosmetically or, dentally. Like that was a lot harder. But as far as like, affordability and lifestyle and quality of life, it was there.
Yeah, and the
Um,
kids at the family live close by.
and
And
everyone went
and
to
they were
like, yeah,
involved.
Sunday
Yeah.
dinners and
Yeah. When I
yeah, it's
grew up
like that was the
too,
best.
on the weekends, we went to see our grandparents
Every
every
way,
week.
every Sunday.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, I don't want to go. I don't like that. We were
Yeah.
like, this is great.
You had to go. Yeah, and you wanted to go. It was
Yeah. You
something you looked
wanted to
forward
hang
to.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is good though. It's like the reminder, thank you for coming on because I think it's like the reminder that no matter how much our world is evolving technologically and with the rise of AI, that the most important thing that AI can't replace is the human connection and to never lose sight of that.
It can. And as long as we're in Earth school and we're human
I
and
love
we
it. I
have
call it that too.
souls,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that's not going to change. I don't care how many
Yeah.
robots they come out with. And
I
you're gonna
agree.
see it's gonna be like we like just like in the movies, like the humans get together and they're like, we want our lives, we want it back, we want to get rid of these robots. Like it always
Yeah.
swings the pendulum, but at the end
Totally.
of the day, as long as humans are alive, humans need humans.
Amen.
Everything else is a help. It's just there
Yeah.
to help you. It's help, to do things for you, to make life simple. It's convenience. We have a lot of convenience, but it's
Hmm.
not there to replace humanity. It's not there to help you in any other way except convenience. Just like, they developed the phone.
Amen.
The phone, you'd have to like ride on a horse to deliver a message. Okay. That was
Yeah.
helpful. The lights were helpful. So you didn't
Yeah.
have to like go to sleep at night or have a fire burning all the time. Yes, it's helpful. It's all helpful, but it shouldn't replace. That's all I'm saying.
Amen. I
Replace
love
the
that. So,
human.
so where can people find your book, more about you, book you as a speaker, all that good stuff?
Okay, so I have my website, which is Tammy J Cohen, Tammy J is in Jack Cohen, COHEN.com. And my email is connect at TammyJCohen.com, Instagram, LinkedIn is Tammy J. Cohen. Facebook is
Okay.
just Tammy Cohen. I'm
Okay.
pretty easy to reach. Anybody who reaches out to me, I respond. And I have some great things that I can offer your listeners too, if they like when they reach out. I have
Absolutely.
a 30-day messaging habit about building calendar. I teach people how to do the message, how to build it, how to create that whole James Clear habit. So it becomes like this is what I
Okay.
do every day.
I
And
love
I
that.
also can give you a taste of the books because before it's on Amazon, it's also on Barnes and Noble, it's in bookstores too. But before you dive in or say I'm going to order it, you can taste the book as well. I give you the first two chapters to try out and see if you like it. It's a very
Oh,
fast read. It's all text messages with
yeah.
how and the why. Why these messages? Why did I do this? How did it start? What did it fulfill for me? But
Yeah.
the whole breast cancer journey is not in the book because that happened while the book was publishing. Yeah.
Well, that's the next book, right?
Oh my gosh, this is book
I
number
love
two.
that.
Yeah,
I
you,
love
you
that.
have multiple books out there. I was
Yeah.
looking at
Well,
as
I have like
well.
another series I've been quietly working on too, and it's just like, oh, I love books. Books are great, they're great information. They're not buying you a house, but I love being able to share my gifts with the world that way.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? Like we're
Mhm.
here for a
Yeah,
reason. We're here to serve. And I know people say that and say, but
100%.
we really are. We like to me, if I can get two people to connect to each other and
Hmm.
and share love and share good energy, like I'm like, this is a good day. You
Amen,
know?
sister. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for coming on next to Madison. You were fabulous. I loved talking to you, Tammy. Thank you.
I enjoyed this so much, Madison. And don't forget when you come to New York,
Yes,
get
oh
in
yeah,
Canada.
she forgot to mention if you're in New York City, she has a restaurant called 18. So make sure you go by
On East
and
81st Street. But Madison, you come
check
in
it
and
out. But I'm
you're
coming
welcome
in.
to
I'm
me.
coming in for a meal. We'll take a picture, we'll put it online. It's going to be great. I can't wait. So
I
thank you
love
so
it.
much.
Thank
And thank
you.
you to everybody who's listening wherever you may be. We will see you next time to find out who's next.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.